Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And today I'm up with a Mango Craft project shares, and also we're going to do that strawberry stencil. So we're going to do that and see how that looks. Right, so I have used the bunny set for today, and I've also used the rectangle doily edge frames there, and also the square ones. And as you can see, I didn't put them back in the packet correctly. And really simple to do these. And that is the first one. Isn't it cute? Really simple to do. I just used Touch 5 markers. The doily edge frame there was cut in white, and I just used my ruler so that I could colour the edge in the same pink that I used on the ears. I've used a little bit of chalk on the cheeks and a little bit of grey just to do a little bit of shadow highlight. Now this background paper here is from Echo Park's Easter Wishes, which is a digital download from Snap Click Supply. But isn't that cute? Absolutely love that. And I did measure these in the haul yesterday. So that's my first one. And then my second bunny, Touch 5 markers again, and this time I did orange around the edge to tie in with the carrot, and also because you get all of those colours in that Snap Click Supply print, so you know you've kind of got your pinks and all of your oranges. But such a sweet little set to make, these bunnies, and so easy to do. Really enjoyed doing that. So those are the two projects that I made, and now I'm just going to pause and grab all my stuff so we can do that glorious strawberry stencil. I'll be right back. Right, so here we are, and I've got my stamp platform which I always stencil onto, and I've got a sheet of cardstock here which is 6 by 6, which is the size of the stencils. I don't know if I gave a measurement yesterday or not. And they come in 3 parts, unless they come in 2. And I do believe the cherry stencil set is a 2-part set. So what you've got are the leaves, you've got the strawberries, and you've also got the seeds. So it's a good idea to kind of like put them together, which is what I'm doing, and I'm holding them up into the light. Now, I know that you can't see that, but I need to hold them up into the light to make sure that I'm getting my seeds. I'm just tapping them down as I move them into the correct places. So I can see that I haven't here. So I'm just like spinning it round and round off camera, trying to line up my seeds. And I don't know if I've got it upside down, because knowing me, I have. Yeah, I've got the berry section upside down, so that's just typical of me. Whoops. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to pause for a second and hold this up to the window. Right, so I've done that, and I've also got my stencil brushes here, which have already got ink on them. But I don't know if you can see, if I hold my hand there, you can see that the, I'm going to call it the hull of the strawberry, the seed and the berry are all lined up. And one of the things that you can do is you can just put a dot, you know, in the corner to help you using a Sharpie pen, so that you always know the correct way round for your stencils. And that's something I'm going to do right now. So there I've got a dot, there I've got a dot, and there I've got a dot. So I never have to go off and, you know, gaze through the window aimlessly again. Right, so then, first of all, we are going to go down with the berry, and I've got those in the correct order. So I'm going to do berry leaf and then the seeds. So I'm just moving those over, and my berries are here. I think my cardstock is just slightly bigger, which is a good thing. And I don't know how much ink I've got on my reds, but I'm going to load it up, and I'm using Oxide in Festive Berries. So you can, you know, use a sticky grid, or you can hold it down with tape. I tend to use my hands. So if I'm extremely close to the camera, I do apologise. But I'm just going in there with my stencil brush, giving it the old swirly twirly. These brushes are really lovely to use. They're so easy on your hands. And I want to be able to do enough here so that I can make a little background for my next project tomorrow, and I'll use this. Ooh, isn't that nice? Now, of course, your strawberries don't have to be red. Strawberries can be pink, lilac, you know, but they tend to look, you know, better when you keep them within the pink tone range, or the red, which of course is the natural colour. So I may not do all of the strawberries because I know that I'm going to crop this down, but that's the nice thing about having a big stencil. You can do it for a tag so that you're just using small areas, or you can just go ahead and do a big bit if you know you're going to do a card, and then just, you know, chop it up to where you need it. I must tell you that my festive berries, tapping on that pad there, is absolutely saturated with ink. It's lovely. You see how dark that colour is? Lovely and deep. It's just nice to do things like this. Sometimes I go outside with all my stuff in a little box, and I just craft on my deck while staring at the birds, because we do get quite a bit of wildlife in the garden. And at the moment I've got lots and lots of American robins, and they are incredibly brave birds. They kind of like stand upright in the grass like those oh, what do they call them, meerkats, and just stare around them without moving. And I can get up and walk around, and they just don't move at all. They're just very, very brave. So I think I've got some pretty good saturation of ink there. So I'm going to lift that up. There we go. So we've got strawberries down, and you have to remember I will be sort of like cropping this to card size. And that is a seriously vibrant shade of red. Yeah, I don't think I've used it so intensely before. I kind of tend to put it on and then spritz it. Right, next thing I'm using is mowed lawn, and that's going to be for the leaves. So here we go, and I've got my dot again, so I know that I'm in the right place. Now some of that red might still be a bit damp, but here goes. Now my green brush is slightly smaller because, you know, we're going into a smaller area. I'm just going to hold it down. So it could end up looking a little bit brown on the edges where it hits the still damp red, but not to worry. Obviously you can heat dry between doing it if you want to. And of course another thing that's really nice to do with layered stencils like this is to do your final layer in glitter. That can look really, really pretty and give it oodles of dimension. So instead of like, I'm going to do black soot for the seeds, if you've got some glitter glue, you can get a palette knife and just scrape your black frosted glitter glue through it and do it that way. And then of course remember to wash your stencil straight away. Because even though they do say a lot of this stuff is water-based, some of it can really, really stick. Alright, let's have a look at where I am. I'm just trying to think the size of my cards that I'm going to do tomorrow. And will I have enough stencil to do it? So I'm going to go down here, do this bit as well. Anybody else like stenciling? Leave your comments below of all your wonderful ideas that you use. I'll tell you another thing that's really nice as well, and of course you would absolutely have to wash your stencil immediately or put it into a bowl of water at your side, and that is to use gilding size. And you can do that and then put your gold or silver foil down into areas. Right, I think I've done all of my red bits. Oh no, I've got one down here. My green bits rather. Right, okay, so I've done that and I'm going to lift up. So there is the tops of the strawberries, and I just can't get over how bright they are. I mean, they're screaming in your face bright red. And then next up, of course, is the seeds, and I'm going to do those in black. Now, because I marked it, I know my dot is going up there. And now I've got my little brush. This is, I think, the same size as my green one. I get my stencil brushes on AliExpress because they're super cheap. And I will link these below, because the more the merrier is what I say. I've got about 20 of these, I think, and I very rarely wash them. If it's you know, an orange that I'm using and it's previously had yellow on it, then I'm absolutely okay with that. And then maybe I'll wash it after. But just a little bit of soap and water will get it off. And I think this is the most exciting bit when you put the final layer on, because it all comes to life. Got that. And I do go quiet in moments like this because I enjoy them. And I hope everybody is safe today. Apparently there's going to be some awful tornadoes and weather ripping through the middle of the country, and we could even be affected by some pretty strong winds here, so I hope that everyone's going to stay safe. As for other parts of the country, I'm giving you a weather report now. I think you're going to have a lot of snow, aren't you? And I'm glad I don't get snow here, because I just don't do snow. I really like to look at it in pictures. I think it's really pretty. And I must admit that I do miss the seasonality of it, especially at Christmas time. Because sometimes it can feel a bit weird wrapping some Christmas lights around a flamingo, if you know what I mean. Because I came from a very cold climate there in the UK, but yeah, you know, fairy lights on your flamingo. It's kind of nice for the first couple of years, and then the novelty wears off. But like I said, I don't like snow, so I'll just have to wrap fairy lights around the flamingo. Right, so that is the seeds done, and I'm now going to lift off and see what we've got, and get my finger under there and peel that away. And there you have wonderful, wonderful bright strawberries. Aren't they lovely? Ooh, so much fun. I think they're fluorescing on camera, aren't they? That they're so bright. But that is absolutely gorgeous. And of course, if you want to, you can always use two shades. You can go in with a darker pink first and then an even darker pink, and, you know, just bump the edges when you go over a second time so that you've got shadow and a little bit of dimension. Right, well, what else did we do? We did the bunnies, we've done the stencil, and I am going to be up with more from Mango Craft tomorrow. So I thank you so much for joining me. Have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.